Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 13 preview between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Jags.
What I like most about the Jaguars offense is the movement and the motion that's involved in the offense. They do a great job of getting guys in motion, and that allows them not to get bumped on the line of scrimmage, and it also creates those opportunities for them to get downfield in the passing game. And they also have movement within the running game. Putting those guys in motion allows the defense to hesitate and think for a second, which opens up lanes, increases for Rashad Jennings, Parmalee and company in the running game. So the way the Jags move on offense, whether it be by formation or by motion, creates opportunities, and they can do the same this week versus the Buffalo Bills. Defensively, I look at the passing game, the pass defense. Aaron Ross, DeJuan Landry, those guys will be vital this week against Buffalo. They love to go to 3, 4, and sometimes 5 wide receiver sets. So they're going to be asked to match up on wide receivers, and DeJuan Landry will be asked to match up on Scott Chandler. Shutting down those opportunities for Buffalo, those quick passing opportunities, will ultimately put the Jags in position to win this game on the road. Now let's move over to the Bills in this ball game. And when you look at their defense at every level, from the defensive line to the linebackers to the secondary, they're going to have to play with some awareness this week versus Jacksonville, that loves to attack the flow of a defense with misdirection run plays and misdirection pass plays. In a passing game, they'll bring a guy in motion and then come back across the formation to that same guy. So you have to be alert and not get over aggressive in your pursuit. And in the secondary, you have to be able to line up and play press against these wide receivers. Both Justin Blackmon and Cecil Shorts are guys that can catch the football, but they're not burners. So you don't have to give them the respect of backing off 8 to 10 yards off the line of scrimmage to play up, throw off the timing, and that way your pass rush can get to Chad Henne. But let's go inside the lab and look at this Bills offense and see how their 5-wide formation can attack the Jaguars defense and how it has put pressure on opposing defenses all season long.
What makes the Buffalo Bills passing offense tough to defend is when they go to their 5-wide formation. And here's what they're looking at. You see, they start with the back in the backfield, which is C.J. Spiller, or it should be C.J. Spiller. You start with him in the backfield, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is allowed to see the formation. This is the tight end. They usually have him flexed, not out wide or tight to the line of scrimmage. He's usually flexed right there, just enough right off the line of scrimmage, because in case they want to run the football, he's in better position to run block as opposed to being way out here or out here next to the wide receiver and sliding the wide receiver out there. Plus, it gives the offense the option of motioning out the back, which what they will do most of the time. So when you look at this formation, Ryan Fitzpatrick is looking for 2 things. He's looking to see where the safeties are, so that way he knows where he can go with the football, and he's also trying to find out, are they in man or zone? So which is why you'll see C.J. Spiller or Fred Jackson go out and usually end up out here. Because 2 things will happen. You can tell if they're in man if this guy follows C.J. Spiller, or they're in some type of zone if the corner walks out and the safety comes down here and the backer kind of widens out right there. So you can really diagnose the type of coverage that's going on pre-snap by just a little motion, and now you're in your 5-wide set. So if they are in man, you know you have C.J. Spiller on a linebacker. That's an easy matchup. And if they're in zone, you know this is a void right here. You also know this is a void here. And you also know you have the option of putting 2-on-1 right here with the strong safety. So the Bills put a lot of pressure on opposing defense, and a lot of times they'll run a hitch, they'll run a slant, or they'll run double slants, or they'll run this guy up the seam and this guy out wide, and C.J. Spiller will run a stop route. So the reason why the Bills are effective when they go to 5 wide, because it helps Ryan Fitzpatrick diagnose the coverage and effectively deliver the football to the right guy.
I believe the X factor for the Jaguars will be their wide receivers. They've been playing some impressive football over the last couple of weeks, and against the secondary of the Buffalo Bills, they can have some opportunities to make plays. And for the Bills, it's going to be their passing game. When you look at the Jaguars, they struggle right now in getting pressure on the quarterback, which means Ryan Fitzpatrick should have more time in the pocket to find these targets downfield. Now, here are some of my coaching points for both teams in this ball game. For the Jags, it's simple. You got to generate pass rush if you can't get it with your front four, and go up tempo on offense. You have the passing game now, and that's just going to open up everything else. Make the Bills press defensively, and no spill of time. You got to make sure you shut down the running game, force Ryan Fitzpatrick to beat you. Now, for the Bills, you got to win the battle up front. You have the advantage on the offensive line, and that means 20 to 25 carries, not touches, carries for CJ Spiller. Give him the football and he can lead you to victory. And on defense, you got to wrap up and get off the field. The Jags passing game has now caught fire. They're getting everyone involved. Wrap up, get off the field, eliminate the broken tackles, and you can have a chance to win this ball game. I like Buffalo in this ballgame. I think the Bills have the advantage on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Those guys can open up holes for C.J. Spiller. And on the defensive line, quiet as kept. They're getting better week in, week out. They're starting to get pressure on a QB, and they're also starting to do a better job in the running game department. The Bills just have to eliminate the turnovers, and they can do that by handing the football to that guy right there, C.J. Spiller. And I want to give a huge shout out to Bills fan forums and Jaguar fan forums for always showing football game plan support.